Well, this certainly isn't the video I thought we'd be bringing you guys today. We're pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
We have a flat tire.
We woke up, tried to start the van, and we had a couple other check engine lights on. We can't get the van to even shift out of first gear, so we can't go over 15 miles an hour. This freaking thing. Good morning, YouTube friends. It's been a minute since we've uploaded, but today marks the start of something we've been planning, dreaming, and saving of for the last 7 years. And Cliff is also very excited.
Come along with us as we head 6 hours north to start our adventure.
Let's go.
Stones we carry, clothes we lived in, all the tales we will tell our children.
On this trip, we really hope to travel a lot of back roads and stay off the highway, but today, to get started with our trip, we are gonna do a massive push. We're driving about 6 hours north from my parents in Western Maine, all the way up to the top of Maine, because we have a special place where we really want to start this trip, and I think it's gonna be a really cool way to kick off this adventure. So, we're gonna get back on the road.
Got some coffee.
Let's go.
The nappy girl.
2 seconds later.
So we made it to our first destination, which isn't too fun. We're just refilling our propane, but it's one of those firsts that we've never done before. So we were a little nervous just to figure out where we're going and how to do it and all that. But Cody's working on it right now, and after that we're headed even further north. But we're in Bangor, Maine, which is where we first met, our old stomping grounds. So it's kind of serendipitous that we're back here as our first kind of stop on our year-long road trip.
Wow, they made that super easy. Just pulled it in, backed up to the tank, topped it off, 23 bucks. We've had this van since 2021 and we've never put propane in it, and our propane stove obviously uses it, and then now we're running the fridge on it. So we're gonna be going through a little more, but apparently most U-Haul centers fill propane tanks, so good to know. Now we head north.
I'm setting the sun, I'm ready to run, I'm walking a tightrope. I'll give you the full spring singing a song, we're taking the high road.
We made it to Medway, Maine, which is essentially between Bangor and where 95 comes to an end. So we're kind of halfway up our highway drive, and then we probably still have an hour and a half once we get off the highway to get to the top of Maine. But we decided to pull over. We're getting a little hungry, so we're making some lunch. Toasting some bread in the pan. I think this is just something that it's so hard to explain, but to be able to just pull over on a rest stop or on the side of the road and be able to have everything you need, everything you want right with you, such a crazy feeling, and something that I absolutely love about van life. She's driving.
Watch out.
As long as it takes us, we're taking the high road.
We just got off the highway in Holton, Maine, which is kind of where 95 comes to an end before it goes into Canada. So I'm glad Jill hit the exit so we don't go into Canada. But I always forget how big the state of Maine is, because we still have another 96 miles north off the highway on Route 1, so we can do Route 1 on the way down.
Such a long drive, but it's gonna be so worth it.
Here we go.
Rivers to oceans, today and tomorrow, wherever you are, well, you know I will follow. Rivers to oceans, today and tomorrow.
Okay, we just made it to our harvest house. We are still those awkward van lifers of when we pull in, where do we go? Where do we park? Who do we talk to? So still kind of getting that under wraps, but Cody's outside talking to the host right now. They did realize that we have a flat tire, so they're taking a peek at that right now. We're at an auto repair shop right now. Some lovely guys are taking a peek at the tire. What a way to start the van trip, but that's okay. We We knew things like this were gonna happen. I told Cody one of my sorry, I'm walking the dog. I told Cody one of my biggest fears in this trip is something happening with the van, and Cody kind of losing his mind because the van is both of our babies, but more his baby because he has put blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. So it's just frustrating to have to be going through this day one, but honestly better day one than day 100 when we might be in the middle of nowhere and don't have help. So we'll keep you updated, but yeah, taking the dog for a walk while the guys look at the tire.
What would an adventure be without a little conflict? We pulled into the harvest host, didn't really know what to do, so we messaged him. Corey came out and we looked over at the van, we started talking, and we had a completely flat rear tire. Instantly he just said, I have an air compressor back up to the garage. So we did, and we filled it up, and as soon as we started trying to put air in at the valve stem, it was leaking so bad. So he filled it up with a bunch of air, said head down the road, take a left, go to Main Street Auto, they should be able to fix you right up. We got there and those guys fit us in right at the end of the day. They were closing, they shut off the sign and then brought the van in and put it up on the lift, placed the valve stem and sent us along the way. So we're good. We just got up here to this absolutely beautiful spot in Madawaska, and it's so peaceful, it's so quiet. Cliff just got to run. Jill's doing some journaling in the back, just kind of decompressing after a long travel day. So I think we're gonna kind of shut it down tonight and then pick back up in the morning. So we appreciate you guys. We're gonna explore northern Maine tomorrow and really start this Route 1 journey, but more on that tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.
Sun's rising, don't let the light in. I breathe in this feeling, don't need to fight it.
Our harvest host, Corey, let us know that he had another piece of land where you can see Canada from the top of this hill. So we just drove up and we're gonna take the dog on a little walk, maybe fly the drone, but oh my gosh, it's already so beautiful.
I am so glad that Corey told us to come up here. It literally just goes like field to sky. It feels like we're like walking up in the clouds up here, and this is kind of exactly what I was hoping our van life journey would shape up to be.
It's good, 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 good morning. Sun's rising, let the light in. Hello, good morning.
Now we're actually hitting the road and we're headed to Four Corners Park here in Madawaska, and we can't wait to see what it is. We drove by it yesterday when we were getting our tire fixed and we're like, oh my gosh, don't peek. So we're so excited to bring you along.
Welcome to Four Corners Park, one of our 4 stops of this crazy journey that we have, and it's in Madawaska, Maine, which is obviously the top right corner. And it's the only one out of the 4 that actually has like a dedicated park like this. We'll show you guys around.
If you've made it this far in our video, we're gonna give you a sneak peek on what our first leg of this trip will be. So of course we're right here in Madawaska. We're headed later on today to hit mile marker 0, and then by the time the holidays hit, we will be on mile marker 0 in Key West with some of our best friends celebrating.
All right, so that was Four Corners Park. That's one of 2 things that brought us up to northern Maine. So we're gonna go up Route 1 a little further into Fort Kent, show you guys really the reason that we drove all this way up here. So stick with us. We have arrived at America's first mile, mile marker 0.
The start!
This is. That was a long journey to get started.
Yeah, it was a long journey just to get started.
According to this sign, there's 2,446 original miles from Fort Kent, Maine, where we are now, to Key West, Florida. Yeah, pretty crazy to be here. And then right there is the Canadian border and the border crossing. So this truly is mile marker 0 of Route 1. And we're super excited to finally be at mile marker 0. And now we officially head south. This kicks off our whole East Coast road trip, which should take us until the first week of December. We hope to do pretty much every state on the East Coast from here down, but we'll see what happens. We really have nothing planned. We have a lot of things we want to see, but nothing really scheduled. So we're just gonna take it day by day. And now we literally need to go figure out where we're sleeping tonight. So
who knows at this point?
Well, this certainly isn't the video I thought we'd be bringing you guys today. We had a super awesome day planned. We were gonna go film with Tiny Homes in Maine and show you guys around their whole tiny home facility where they build them out of a World War II airplane hangar. And then we had a really cool harvest host lined up for tonight, but we woke up, tried to start the van, and we had a couple other check engine lights on. We've been battling a fight with this Sprinter with some wheel speed sensors, and we thought we had it at least fixed enough to do the trip, but this morning we can't get the van to even shift out of first gear, so we can't go over 15 miles an hour. We're like 250 miles north, and there's a shop up here that said they would try to help us, but I really don't know where we go from here, what we do, what today's gonna look like, but I hope we can at least get this thing rolling up over 15 miles an hour. But we'll keep you guys posted. We'll try to film as much as we can, but we're kind of in disaster mode at the moment, so we'll see what happens. Thanks for being here, guys. Hopefully this turns into a good video.
It's the socks and Birks for me.
That's a vibe. This freaking thing.
So Cody is jacking the van up to take a peek at what we think it is the wheel speed sensor on the right back wheel. When we got our tire replaced, when we had a flat tire, that's the one that they took off, and it's been happening ever since. So he's jacking the van up. We think we know what the problem is. It's just like kind of tricky to get to and tricky to fix without like having a full jack to like get up under there. So fingers crossed, at least we know what it is and kind of how to work around it. It's just one of those feelings of like every time we turn on the van, is it going to be okay? So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he can be a mechanic, turn from a videographer to a mechanic for the day, and we'll see what happens.